The overall system then looks like this. So your LinkedIn ads in this diagram. So this diagram runs left to right. So your LinkedIn ads are over here. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people to respond to your LinkedIn ads. And the goal is to get them over here to what I've called your time-based offer, which could be a free consultation. It could be that they sign up for one of your webinars. It could be, I guess for most of my clients, they're kind of the main options. If you don't have a time-based offer, you might have a product-based offer in here. That's also a possibility. To the right of this, then you'd have your, out of the time-based offer, you use that to qualify people and then send them a proposal if they're a good fit for your products and your services. So this to the right of this is kind of beyond the scope of the course, because that then enters your sales process. So the goal really is, how do we most efficiently and most affordably get people from seeing your LinkedIn ad to responding to your time-based offer? Because you can grow your business, you can scale your business if you have a steady stream of the right people requesting your time-based offer. I'm sure, for most of my clients, that's kind of what we all want, is a consistent and reliable flow with great people who are booking calls with us to explore their problem, their situation, which allows us then to qualify them. That's kind of what we want as service providers. So the first thing that they're going to do in our system is they're going to request a lead magnet, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. But they're going to normally request some kind of template, checklist, guide, decision-making process, something that helps them to start solving a specific and urgent problem. And it has to be a specific and urgent problem. It has to be something that they're already aware of. It can't be a problem that they have, but they're not really bothered by it, if that makes sense. It has to be something that they're like, when they see something on LinkedIn and they feel like you've been looking over their shoulder because they were thinking about it just that morning, and then all of a sudden here you are with your template, your checklist to say, actually, to start solving this, here's the 8 steps that we use in our business. So they respond to that. This is a LinkedIn hosted form, not a page on your website. A more advanced version of this, there is an option to send people to a page on your website where they register for the lead magnet. I've seen much better results by sending people to a LinkedIn hosted lead form. So what we're doing in this system is we're keeping them on LinkedIn, at least in this kind of first iteration of the setup. When the contact fills in the form that is hosted by LinkedIn, the other reason why that works actually is because the LinkedIn hosted lead form, LinkedIn will pre-populate that form with details that are known about the contact. So it will pre-populate usually their business email, and perhaps their phone number if you're asking for their phone number, but it will pre-fill all of those details so that the form completion process there's less friction, partly because they're not being taken away from LinkedIn, and then partly because their details are pre-filled on the form that they have to fill in to get the lead magnet. There will then be a lead magnet thank you page. So what you need to do on that thank you page is say, great, thanks for filling in the form. Please go and check your email. We've sent the email, we've sent the checklist, the guide, the lead magnet. We've sent it to your email address. Now, it's quite important that you don't link to the lead magnet from the lead magnet thank you page here. They have to go and check their email. So they can't just enter daffyduck@gmail.com to get hold of the lead magnet. They have to enter a proper email address. So then you come through here and the first email here, so E2 is just a code for the email sequence. But this is an email that delivers the lead magnet and encourages them to use it and explains the benefits of using it right now and what the lead magnet will be able to do for them. That's what the first email that you send out to them. At the bottom of this email, you include an offer for your time-based offer. So, so the flow of the email is, thanks for responding on LinkedIn. Here's the lead magnet. Here's why you should use it. Here's what it's going to do for you right now. If you would like more help solving this problem more completely, you can book a free consultation at this link. And then you link to your time-based offer. After that, they move to E3, which is the lead incubator sequence. So then over the next 3 to 14 days, you're going to send them an email a day. And you're going to introduce you and your services. You're going to demonstrate your understanding of the problem. You're going to demonstrate the key insight that they are missing, the thing that they really need to understand to solve the problem that they're facing. And you're going to give them your vision for the future. In that email sequence, you're also going to link to your time-based offer. So if in that sequence they decide at some point, yeah, actually, I trust this person. I want to have this problem solved for me, affordably, and they think you're the right person to do it, then there's a link to the time-based offer, or to the product-based offer if it's a product, but most often it's a time-based offer. It's perfectly fine to build out the lead incubator sequence as you go. So you can get going with this by just having your lead magnet, one email delivering the lead magnet. It's possible to get going actually with just your lead magnet and this email here where you deliver the lead magnet and you link to your time-based offer. You can get going with that. In terms of like the minimum viable product, that is probably the minimum viable product. I would then have an email sequence. If you, assuming that your products are expensive enough that they need to trust you and that they need to feel like you really get them, and it's a significant enough investment that they have to perhaps run it past their spouse. It's not something that they can slip onto the credit card bill. Then, I would say that you do want to spend some time developing your lead incubator sequence. I've got a template elsewhere for that, which you can go and find. I would suggest as a minimum having 3 emails in here. And those 3 emails so you'd have 1 email in each of the 3 acts in the lead incubator. So 1 email that demonstrates your understanding of the problem, 1 email that explores the key insights that they're missing and how you learned about that key insight, and then 1 email that demonstrates your vision for the future and what you stand for. And in each of those emails, you link to your time-based offer. But you can build out this email sequence to include, say, 12 emails that go out 1 a day. And obviously, the higher value your services, the more emails you probably want to put in this sequence. And if nothing else, the more emails you write, the more bites you have at the cherry for convincing them to take you up on your time-based offer. After this, you add them to your long-term nurture. This could be your ongoing emails, whatever that looks like. So they go into long-term nurture after that. There is also a branch up here. So I would focus initially on email. There is also a branch up here for direct mail. And this follows the Maze marketing principle of showing up to them in multiple in multiple media. Because some prospects will respond to email, but not everyone. Some prospects will respond better to direct mail if you send them something in the mail, or if you send them a letter in the mail. So the model that I follow is whatever your lead magnet is. So let's say your lead magnet is a checklist. Then what you can do is also offer to mail them a printed copy of the checklist with some extra steps included, with some extra detail, and send it as a is a folded A3 document. So I use a direct mail service called Stamp, which is STANNP, and you can send a folded A3 document which folds down to a 4-page A5 leaflets, and you can send one of those for about £1. So this isn't very expensive. You know, if you factor this into the cost of running LinkedIn ads, like it's small change basically. What I found is that when you have your lead form here, and you ask them for their name and email address in order to get the lead magnet. If you, on your thank you page, you can then say, well, thanks for registering for the lead magnet. Would you, as a bonus gift, would you like our printed, folded checklist with, 2 or 3 extra steps, so that you can keep it on your desk, you can keep it handy next time you're facing this particular problem. It's free, it's on the house, we'll pay the postage. Just enter your mailing address here, and they maybe go off to your website to enter their mailing address. What I found is that if you've got your audience right, and that they do have the problem that you're offering to solve, about half of the people who fill in the lead magnet form will also give you their mailing address. So this is something you can play around with, but if someone gives you their mailing address as well and permission to mail them, then you're now showing up in multiple formats. And you can trigger this so that the folded A3 gets sent automatically straight away. What I then suggest doing is that, say, perhaps a few days later, you might want to send them a postcard or 2, or perhaps a letter. But you might send them a postcard where you drill into. So if you've offered them if you've sent them a checklist, you might pick out one particular point on that checklist and say, have you thought about this particular point? Have you thought about, doing it this way? Have you thought about the benefits of this? And you basically pick a specific thing that you've mentioned on your lead magnet, and you focus on it on your postcard. And again, all of your mailing pieces have links to your time-based offer. So that's the overall system. It's kind of this sifting and sorting mechanism where we're attracting a bunch of people who have the problem that you solve, and then we're segmenting them. Are they willing to give us their mailing address? Because if they are, that immediately highlights them as a better prospect. We're then sending them a few emails. We're delivering the lead magnet as the first point. We're then sending them 3 to 12 emails as the lead incubator sequence. And again, the people who are most likely to work with you will respond to these emails. Even if they don't take you up on your time-based offer, if you can have a look on their contact record in your email system and see that they've been opening emails, that's a really great sign. It might just be that they don't currently have the cash, but as soon as they do have the cash, then you're going to be positioned well. You're going to be the only one that they want to buy from. So we've covered most of this, but required assets, things that you're going to need. You're going to need a lead magnet. The lead magnet must scratch an immediate itch. It must be fast to consume or use. So things like templates, lists, quizzes, checklists, operating procedures, decision-making guidelines is what DMG stands for. Your lead magnet isn't going to completely solve the problem. It's only going to help them begin solving the problem. You're going to then need your email that delivers the lead magnet. You're then going to need between 3 and 12 emails in your lead incubator sequence, which is your welcome sequence, your onboarding sequence. You're then going to need a form for your time-based offer. This could be something like Calendly or OnceHub, so somewhere where they can book some time on your calendar to have 30 minutes with you. The final thing I want you to think about in terms of LinkedIn ads is this idea that when you're generating leads on LinkedIn, most of the leads aren't really leads yet. They're not in terms of they're not ready to talk to you about your services yet. In other words, they're not bottom of funnel. People who are bottom of funnel are actively in consideration mode. They're looking at you. They're looking at other providers. They're comparing prices. They're comparing features. They're looking at reviews. They're asking for demos. They're booking calls with you. They're looking at case studies on their website. They're not at this stage. People who've requested your LinkedIn, your lead magnets on LinkedIn, at best they're middle of funnel. There's somewhere in the middle. They're aware that they've got the problem. They are interested in educational resources. They're interested in webinars. They're downloading different things. So at best they're middle of funnel. They might even be top of funnel where they're right at the beginning of their research journey. So we're probably straddling these two sections. And what we're trying to do with our LinkedIn ads, we're trying to build up a bigger pool of people at this stage in order to then use email and direct mail to move qualified people down the funnel. That's what we're trying to do here. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've got any questions, let me know in the community, and I will see you in the next video.